So how are you doing on this this Git session or this Git piece that you were trying to learn?
Git, I think it's fine. Based on what I read from the batch, I guess there will be some other more complex topics related to Git, but for now it's just a very basic. So
Right,
I'm
right, yeah.
comfortable with this.
Cool. So yeah, for this level, it's simple stuff, but it's stuff that you're going to need to be able to pass on to the next thing. So like I guess Heroku deployment is coming next, and for that you need to be able to use some Git there. We wanted you to get the Git piece before you go onto Heroku. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and real quick, I can give you some real good feedback about watch and code. Real like this guy's method.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I liked it too.
It's very practical, and I never thought that. I mean, there were these different levels for building an app just using pure an array, then functions, then objects. That makes total sense, and it's a really nice way to introduce these more complex topics.
Yeah, it's actually, it fits right very well in our framework in Codex, because we really just want you to learn a little piece here, and then you build on that a little piece here, and then you keep on building and building and building. Something starting small like an array, learning how it works, and then just building on more and more on top of that. So it's sweet that it's sweet how it works right into our curriculum. It's beautiful. So yeah, watching code is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I also like how he's like, I guess, preparing yourself for doing tests eventually, and he's just writing the requirements beforehand and then working from the requirement. And sometimes it's just as simple as just wrapping stuff using curly braces or brackets, and then it's more natural, feels more like oh, this is just some extra stuff, but it's the same thing. It doesn't feel like he's trying to teach you everything about the syntax and then okay, go ahead and try it. It feels more like it's natural extension. I like it a lot.
Very cool. Well, let's get moving with your Git Learner 1 evaluation. Can you share your screen there? All right, cool. We're looking at the badge. So so let's look at the criteria there. And of course, I'm assuming you've already installed Git SCM, right?
Yeah, it's installed on my computer, already installed.
Cool. So I guess we'll be using that here for the rest of this this eval. So kind of just start at the very first criteria and work your way down, and let's see how well you've mastered these things.
All right. So first thing here in the list is creating a local repo. I will be using my VS Code command line, and I'm here in this folder for Codex. I will just.
I see that you're in the middle of working on the JavaScript.
Oh yeah.
JavaScript badge. Cool. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
So create a new directory for this. Git test already exists. Oh, sorry. So I'm here in a new folder. Create an empty, a local repo. I will use the git init command.
Nice.
Then I will add some files to this repo. I will just use this basic JavaScript file that I already have here. And there's a file. So if I want to add the file, I can git add and the name of the file. Or I can do git add asterisk, that this will add all the files.
Do you know of another way to add all the files in the current folder?
No, I will usually just add this.
If you do star, I am not sure, but it feels like it's not going to do it recursively. So you may add files to other folders, and it may not work. I'm not sure about that, but the other way to do it, the way I normally do it, is git add dot. So dot being like the the local directory, but for some reason, well, it definitely does it recursively. Like it'll do it inside of subfolders and things.
Oh, you're right. I actually have used this before.
Got it.
Yeah, I just forgot. The first thing that came to my mind was that asterisk as a wildcard for all files. But yeah, you're
Right.
right. That
I,
dot,
I think the asterisk only does the current folder. So it's like star dot star in this folder, but then dot has some sort of special status that.
like this in Windows, if you wanted to select like all the files with all the extensions, right?
Right. But dot for some reason does it recursively for you.
Okay, good to know with that dot. Well, I use the git status command just to check that the new file was actually added.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will just make a commit. Git commit. Now I'll add a message. First commit. Not sure if this is a good commit message. I think for now it's descriptive enough.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. But describe to me what's happening in your in how you're using git commit. Like what's it doing, and why did you choose -am? What is first commit? What does that mean?
Well, I think I know about the M is the flag for message. So you're submitting it with a message. I'm not sure about the A.
Okay. It's just something that came from a habit that you got started. I also add an A there.
Yeah.
I was just curious to see if you knew what was going on there.
I may have read about it at some point, but I just don't remember. I'm sure. I think I'm sure about the M, not about the A.
Right.
Can
Well,
you
it
explain?
has something to do with adding files. So if you don't do a git add, you can commit with a -a and it'll add for you. It's just that it's not necessarily. There are some scenarios where git commit -a will not add the files that you think it should. So it's actually a really good practice to go ahead and do a git add and dot, or git add -A, and then at least doing a git commit -m at least. But doing an
Right.
AM, I instinctually, I just from habit, from years and years of doing this, I use -am. It's just my fingers automatically go to that.
There is a shorthand for add and commit.
Adding during committing, yeah.
I see.
And then what other kinds of messages might you put in this commit? So first commit is the message that you're putting in right now. What's normally the purpose of that message that you're trying to do? Who's the audience?
Well, the audience, maybe some other developers that will be working on this project, or it may be just me. It may be just a reminder of what I was doing at this point.
Okay, cool. So maybe it might be I just added the product feature, or I just added the Duke Nukem character, or fixed the bug, or
right. But yeah, I don't think like fix the bug something descriptive enough. I would just try to go as far as something that will be understood just by reading the message, even if it's not like a full explanation of what was the bug. Maybe just having some kind of reference to what the bug was.
Got it.
Or if you're using the GitHub, like what's that? It's like a Kanban board where you can track issues. Maybe just adding the code to a reference to what the bug was, to what we're referring to.
Yeah, like
but I wouldn't just fix the bug. It may need some more. You may need to be more descriptive than that.
Right. And so you said the audience is maybe other developers, maybe yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the right answer, and but add in the idea of time to that concept. So even yourself, 3 months from now, is basically a different person. You've already forgotten most of this, and you need little hooks to help you remember why you did something or what you did, even. So yeah, it's not always even just for today. It's also for in the future. And so yeah, that's where the necessity of description comes in for those commit messages.
Yeah. I believe you can also pair this with comments in code if necessary, so you will remember what's happening, what's going on. What was your uh, what was your thinking while doing that?
Right. I agree. All right. What else you got?
Right. So message was committed. Then cloning a repo from GitHub. I already have a repo here open. I can just go ahead and copy the URL or use this feature here. I'll just try this one. Let me get back. And then git clone.
And you just pasted the URL there.
Yep. Again, I think it also works if I just copy the URL, because here it gives me the option to use HTTPS, which is basically the same URL that you have in your browser.
Okay, yeah.
I think the difference if you use HTTPS is that if it's not a public repo, it will prompt you to input the credentials.
Yeah, username and password every time.
If you really have access to this repo, then access your credentials. Otherwise, if you're using the SSH one, it will just well, it's proven that you have it because you have uploaded those credentials to your keys to GitHub, so it's you.
Right. Yeah, in a later badge, we're going to have some of the, we'll be verifying that you're using an SSH way of connecting to Git. So I think using the SSH way is more convenient because I'm usually in the zone. I'm trying to type, and then if I'm like blocked by a username and password every time, then it like makes me have to stop and think about that, and then I have to get back on track again. And having SSH is nice because A, it's more secure. B, it just lets you just slide right on through.
Right. I think like it's also a way to streamline your processes. If you're doing this every day and you're typing your credentials over and over again, if you sum up that time, you're probably spending a lot of time just inputting your credentials.
Yeah, especially if it's a good password that should take you a few seconds to type in.
And I'm also not sure of what will happen if you have two-factor authentication enabled and you're using the HTTP as way for connecting. I'm not sure because there will have to be a third step, but I don't really know how it works.
Yeah. Now I do have two-factor auth enabled, and but I use SSH, and so it doesn't stop me there. I'm not sure what it would do with HTTPS. Cool. What else you got?
All right. So pushing to a remote. I will create a remote repo here to demonstrate this. So I'm creating an empty repo on GitHub. And from these steps, I will just copy this one. That's adding a remote.
Cool.
So let me go back to my folder. So I just added.
You just added the repo, the remote repo.
And then you can follow the instructions here. It says git push minus flag u origin master. I would just do that git push minus u origin master.
And so what did you just do?
This is the equivalent of just copy and pasting my code from my computer to this remote folder or repo.
Cool.
And now if I were working with some other people and they made some change, I kind of need to sync my local folder or my local repo with this remote one that is our reference. So we'll use git pull command. Nothing should happen because it's only me.
Right.
But if you were
Yeah,
to send something, it will probably just update in my files.
Yep. Cool. All right, man. That's the last one,
it.
right?
Yep.
Great job. Great job. So yeah, you passed with flying colors. You definitely have mastered these skills in Git. So congratulations. Just go ahead and claim that badge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.